On multiple occasions, I have been accused of just quote-unquote stirring up controversy in Magic. I've even had more than one person from Wizards of the Coast present this to me in various conversations over the years, that my channel likes to rile up, agitate, or otherwise create issues where there are none. As I submit this video today, Your Honors, I would like the record to show that I have not previously made a video about Magic Arena's controversial new Alchemy format, nor have I tweeted anything about it except for a very calm statement that, while Alchemy is not my jam, I hope very much others enjoy playing it. And yet, despite the fact that I, a purported stirrer of controversy and frenzy whipperer of Magic players, have not done anything of the sort with Alchemy, the collective Magic the Gathering community is in what can generously be described as turmoil in response to this. Me? I don't need to make this video. I don't even want to make this video. I made a video a few days ago all about how much I love Winston Draft, the method of drafting that requires only 2 people, and nobody watched it. Those people who say all I do is negative stuff aren't going to tune in this Monday when I post my new deck box review with these, colorful deck boxes. No, I just do negative videos for clicks and clout. Well, at this point in my career, I have enough clicks and enough clout. Oh, well, I suppose there's still room for a little clicks and clout. Oh, okay, maybe just a little bit of clicks and clout. All right, how about this? Magic Arena's new Alchemy format isn't a problem, but the way Wizards of the Coast implemented it is, and try this on for size, there's a very simple solution that can eliminate the problem entirely, keep Alchemy for everyone who wants to enjoy it, and even improve the Arena experience for countless more players, and I am going to go over it here and now, and that solution, dear Watsy, is called Pioneer. Before we begin, for those who may be living under a rock, or just don't have Arena, Alchemy is a new Arena-exclusive format that uses digital rebalancing of cards and exclusive digital-only cards to attempt to fix the standard format. In many ways, you can think of Alchemy as Standard 2.0 or Standard Digital, where instead of banning problematic cards, Alchemy simply changes what they do in an attempt to rebalance them. Now, Alchemy is not replacing Standard. It's simply being offered as an additional format. The idea is that standard cards are written in stone, but in Alchemy, why not take advantage of the fact that Arena is a digital platform and just change a +2 to a +1, or add an existing new digital-only card that does digital-only things for digital-only fun. In theory, there's nothing wrong with this, but in theory, you can build a successful mono-white commander deck. In theory. While Wizards of the Coast has stated that new Alchemy sets will be released shortly after new Standard sets, tweaks to cards already in Standard will become a frequent occurrence, in an attempt to keep the format fun, fast, and dynamic. To players who have had to endure Oko, Euro, Omnath, and Alrund's Epiphany, this may seem like a boon, and very well may be. Like I said in my tweet, Alchemy by itself doesn't interest me personally, but there's no problem in providing it to players who would enjoy this kind of digital environment. The problem arises when it comes to Arena's other major format, Historic. Wizards of the Coast has decided that while regular Standard, with its unaffected cards, will still exist, the Historic format, Arena's so-called Eternal format, will make use of the Alchemy versions of cards. So now, instead of a format where you can play with your old cards that have rotated out of Standard forever, there's a format that is changing all the time. And that is the real problem with Alchemy, not the existence of Alchemy, but the forcing of Alchemy cards into Historic. Remember that Historic was sold to us as a format that was the answer to Arena's wretched economy. What do you do with your Standard cards after they have rotated from Standard on a client where you can't trade them away or dust them? Why, you play Historic, the format of old Standard cards. Okay. And then it turned out Historic was really awesome. Yeah! But now Historic will essentially rotate regularly. The cards you trade wildcards for, because you thought they were powerful, will now potentially get nerfed with the stroke of a keyboard. No wildcards will be redeemed to you, and above everything else, that is why players are upset. Rather than being able to play with your old Standard cards in Historic, you will now have to use the fixed Alchemy versions that don't exist in paper. This affects cards that exist in the format right now, not just ones to come, and it has had a negative impact on the viability of the decks that run them. And if you thought Historic Brawl would be safe, nope. Historic Brawl will be using the Alchemy versions of cards as well. And to top it all off, Wizards of the Coast has chosen what I think it's fair of me to describe as the extremely greedy route of not refunding wildcards when they make these changes to the cards that you traded your wild cards for. Because the cards still exist, they claim, albeit in a changed form, so sucks to be you. In this area, especially, I feel people have a right to be upset. This effectively takes the time and money spent by your players to play your game and throws it all away. Alchemy also has the unintended effect of greatly damaging the biggest selling point of Arena, the fact that you can use it as a free-to-play game. On Arena, by completing the daily tasks, players can earn enough gold to draft the current Standard set enough times to effectively build viable Standard and, through that, Historic decks. Alchemy, however, is not intended for draft. Instead of being able to play the game with the cards you can draft, new cards pushed for a particular format will have to be paid for rather than earned. This greatly damages Arena's free-to-play system, a vital system for attracting new players. Magic Arena already has numerous problems, from its interface to growing bugs and slowdown to its lack of community features. Yet here, instead of focusing on quality of life improvements, Wizards of the Coast has decided to fix problematic Standard cards and design new exclusive digital ones. Again, fair enough. That's their prerogative, and there is the argument that those two resources are not exactly an either-or kind of situation. Fair. I get that. There are plenty of players, too, who are going to enjoy Alchemy, and I think that's awesome. Even if it's not my jam, I want people to have fun playing Magic, whether in paper or digitally. That's all great. But the way in which they have rolled out Alchemy has, I think fairly undisputably, alienated a sizable portion of their player base, and that was unnecessary. Why force Alchemy cards into Historic? Why not just refund wild cards? This is where the vitriol and anger is coming from, not from the idea of a digitally updated Standard format. And there's a very simple solution to all this. While some say that you should be able to trade in your cards for in-game currency, referred to as dusting in other online TCGs, others have suggested having two Historic formats, one that uses the Alchemy changed cards and one that doesn't. I have another idea, one that has long been called for in the Magic Arena community. Bring Pioneer to Arena. Pioneer is literally the format where old Standard cards go. Unlike Modern or even Legacy these days, which are injected semi-regularly with cards printed specifically for them, or in the case of Legacy, cards printed for Commander that affect it, Pioneer is a format purely made up of cards that have been through Standard, from Return to Ravnica to the present. There have been no Pioneer Horizon sets, nor Commander products to adulterate them. This is the perfect non-rotating format for players who wish to use their cards that are no longer legal in Standard. And it's the perfect solution to this problem. After all, it is understandable that Wizards of the Coast would want their premier digital client to have a non-rotating, digital-only format that can be tinkered with in much the same way as online card games like Legends of Runeterra and Hearthstone. But part of what sets Magic the Gathering apart from those games is the eternal nature of its cards. Sol Ring and Lightning Bolt do today what they have done since 1993, and that is a wonderful thing. Instead of just looking as to what others are doing and copying it, I've always advocated that Magic the Gathering look to what it does better and differently than other games and embracing it. By adding Pioneer to Arena, we are able to establish a true, non-rotating format of standard and former standard cards where they do in 5 years what they do today, where players have confidence trading their wild cards in for whatever it is they desire to build, because at the worst, it's going to get banned, but it isn't going to get nerfed. What's more, Pioneer can happily coexist with Alchemy, making Arena a place that is welcoming and fun for many, many Magic the Gathering players. Now, it's true that the vast majority of cards that are needed in the Pioneer format are not currently on Arena, and that is indeed a major undertaking, though maybe not as major as some people think. Remember when we did Kaladesh and Amonkhet remastered sets that are premiered exclusively on Arena? Imagine Theros remastered, or Tarkir remastered, or Return to Ravnica remastered. I remember when those sets first came out, and revisiting on Arena purely through drafting them would be a trip down memory lane in and of itself. And with each one added, we would be building towards Pioneer. Why not just start Pioneer with what is currently on Arena and have a plan to build towards full Pioneer? And yes, people would pay to draft those remastered sets on Arena, so you can monetize them for the non-free-to-play customers as well. And free-to-play customers could grind out those events and play some of those drafts for free. Many non-Arena using Magic players might just check the client out when their favorite remastered set is up for draft and then end up enjoying Arena and sticking around. It's win-win for everyone. You do not need to add every single set that is Pioneer legal into Arena to have Pioneer on Arena, at least not all at once anyway. By focusing on key Pioneer cards, you could likely initially add somewhere in the range of 60 to 80 to at least begin with that Pioneer Light format. Then you slowly build up over the years towards full Pioneer. As long as this is a format where we can play with our former standard cards without those cards being changed or nerfed, players are going to be happy. That is what we need on Arena and, in all honesty, in paper Magic. This coexists with Alchemy and with Alchemy Historic just fine. Heck, earlier this year, Wizards of the Coast sold Pioneer Challenger decks. Why didn't those have digital redemption codes for Arena? Just program the cards that were in those 4 decks onto Arena, and you could have had such a great starting place for Pioneer Light, and you can still do that. Pioneer is a fun format with a healthy metagame and a lot of potential. Adding it to Arena would likely prove a boon to both the format and the player base, and it seems to me an excellent solution to the current problem with Alchemy. Or, just suck it up and offer wildcard redemptions for Alchemy card changes. The loss to profits is worth the boost in player confidence and retention. But even if that gets offered, or even if 2 different historic formats get offered, Pioneer is a set made for Magic Arena, and it would benefit the client and its player base greatly.